Hi everyone, I'm Tristan Tomasino and welcome to another weekly market pulse. Well, a recent survey just released shows that Australians are paying nearly 13 times their annual income to buy a property. And this ties into the fact that obviously to service the loan over the course of a year, Australians are paying nearly 38.5% their annual income to service that loan, especially in Sydney. In Melbourne, it's more so around 32.5%. The survey also showed that Australia is the third least affordable country in the world, just behind Hong Kong and New Zealand. And in terms of actually the top 5 capital cities in the world, Sydney and Melbourne, no surprises there, round out the top 5 with the least affordable cities to live in. It's no wonder though, living in Australia, and especially Melbourne, the most livable city in the world, that affordability is obviously at a record high at the moment. This ties into the fact that at the moment though, we are seeing, as we stated on last week's weekly market pulse, the first homeowner market is incredibly strong. We had several apartments start on the weekend, 2 in particular in our core market in Yarraville. One of them now a company record in terms of the amount of groups that we had through 17 of 40 Murray Street in Yarraville. We had it open. In 30 minutes, we had 68 groups through there, which is nearly 200 people that came through in that time slot. And then obviously from there, we went to 2 of 37 Kidman Street. We had another 55 groups through that very small 1-bedroom villa. So certainly the first homeowner market has started incredibly strong, but for our houses that we had open on the weekend as well, we saw some terrific numbers through. On average, about 15 to 16 groups through most of our houses, which is up about 5 to 6 groups on average from the end of last year, especially the fourth quarter in 2017. So what does all this mean for over the next 2 to 3 months? Well, auctions won't start until the 3rd of February, so after the Australia Day long weekend. And that will gradually mean that more properties will hit the market, which we are starting to see on the internet portals at the moment. It'll be a great indication leading up to Easter to see how the clearance rates go, and that'll be a great indication as to how the rest of 2018 will go. As always, interest rates are still at record lows. Money has never been cheaper to borrow, but banks now are starting to audit your financials a lot more intensely. They're starting to delve a bit deeper into actually where you're spending your money compared to the last 2 to 3 years, where really they didn't do that research. So it's also good to, if you are looking to buy a property, to do your research now with regards to a bank or a mortgage broker. Get all that information to them because it could take some time to get your pre-approval. As always, look forward to seeing you on next week's weekly market pulse and have a great week.